Okay, so good morning everyone. We're doing art and craft module. I think it's the second week. So I'd asked students to bring in some form of art, materials, and coloring, and so that we could do more of a practical activity. So you brought in a coloring book. How much is it? How much did you buy?
1,000 something.
It was 1,000 something. So, okay, it's got actually a sample of the coloring, okay, which is quite good as well. So then the children can actually copy as well. And it is quite good. It is quite good. And then the other thing that makes it good also it includes words. So they're not only coloring, it's not only art, but there's also some learning that is happening because they are learning. I think they're learning vegetables, onion, and then the watermelon. So it's all different types of vegetables and animals. Learning the colors. So when we look at a tomato, the tomato should be red or blue. Okay. So then you'll be able to understand that the colors are being associated with the real life object of the color of that item or the fruit. Yes, this is quite good. And it's quite different, the coloring is quite different because it's got actually like a interesting cover on it. You don't normally find this as a cover. You usually find them straight bound with a straight cover. So it's quite an interesting coloring book. How would you then use it yourself? So you would ask, what would you do? So sometimes with art, like we discussed last week with art in education or education in art. When we do art in education, when we do art in education, that means they're just coloring, okay? It becomes more like a still life where they are seeing the colors that have been used and then using those colors to actually match the real object, okay? Not the real object, but on paper, okay? And then when you move on to ask, okay, what do we use an onion for? It's a vegetable. Where do you use it? You use it in, how do you use onions? They're used in frying, in salads and stuff like that. So you could then it becomes what? Education in art. Because you are now looking at the picture and trying to help them to identify what that picture is, what that picture is used for, okay, and any other places that picture is used for, okay. So they are able to identify the object. So you can even stretch it to now. So what is this? Okay, it's an onion. What is an onion? It's a vegetable. How do you grow onions? What colors do you find them in? You find them not only in white shape, but purple as well. There are some that are now purple. Yes. Okay, even spring onions. Then you can look at the different types of onions that are there. Okay, so how do we grow them? We can even extend it after coloring. You can bring in seeds for onions and can grow them outside. So that is now education in art. But the art itself, it was just a matter of what? Coloring and coloring exactly how the picture looks like. Okay, but sometimes we can color without looking at, without putting the pictures that the colors that appear on the picture itself. So is it very clear? Yes. And then you can display them as well. So you've got colors, okay? So you start coloring in also. And what type of material? So you got pencils, okay? So most of them are found in the oil pencils, okay? So you have to make sure that when you get resource materials, when you get materials, art materials for children, then you need to make sure that you've read the label that it is non-toxic, because children have got a habit of putting things in their mouth. Okay? So if it is toxic, they're going to have allergies, some of them allergies, rashes, or an allergic reaction to the materials. So you have to read and make sure that it is non-toxic. And also you need to then look at what type of material it's oil pencils, okay? And then also look at the age, okay? What age group is it for, okay? So we know that it's for 3 years and above, okay? And then also what you can then do is, even reading the king, you can ask them also, you brought what color is this? Green. You use the green to color what? What sort of things outside are in green? Leaves, okay? So when we have pictures that have got leaves or flowers, we use what? We use the color green. Yellow, okay, if there's yellow, or if there is green, okay, green, there is bright green, there's lime green, there is dark green. So you can even look at the different shades of green as well. So you can even move the lesson. This is not art in education. When you then look at the different shades, yes, the different shades of colors that are there. So you can look at the basic primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. And then look at the different shades of blue. You've got navy blue, you've got sky blue, and then so you are bringing the different shades so that they can understand. Okay, sky blue. Blue is usually used to when you are coloring the sky or anything that is to do with the color blue. Okay, typically brown, black is the one. You can even then move on to drawing of skin tones. Okay, let's draw faces. Okay. Let's draw each other. That's now a portrait. Draw your face or draw your friend's face, okay? And then I want you to use the right color skin tone. We've got brown, okay? We've got people who have got brown skin, black skin, white skin, pink, okay? It now depends where they're coming from. And then you can bring in words that describe someone's facial expression or skin type, okay? Yes. So then we've got somewhat in between. So if you saw a Chinese person, which one would you use? They're more likely to use this, right? Okay? So you could then move it to skin tones, facial appearances and stuff like that. So this is quite good. So well done on you. So for this next 30 minutes, I want you to do practical art. Okay? So I want you to color, okay? And I want you to color. And when you're teaching 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds how to color, they should color within. Okay? You need to make sure that when you're teaching them how to color, they are coloring inside. Okay? So it is moving. Okay? It is moving inside. Okay? Inside. Okay? When they color outside of the picture, that means they're making an error. Okay? So there are going to be stages where they will color in outside. But you are trying to direct them to color inside the picture, okay? Okay. And you also can award marks, okay? So you subtract marks if they shaded outside of the picture as well. Then you could also award marks, like for example, here you're trying to see whether they can match the photo, the colors to the actual photo, to the actual coloring template. So you can award marks. So you can say 5 marks for coloring inside. Okay? So if they colored inside, maybe 5 marks. If they haven't, maybe 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. Okay? Now you look at how many pictures were not colored in shape. Okay, inside. Okay? So if there's mistakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, then it's out of 5, so they get 1 out of 4. And you understand how you can grade a coloring activity. Okay? And then you're also then looking at were they able to match the colors. Okay, that's another 5 marks. Okay? So red were able to do that. Yellow, yes, they were matching, so that means they know how to color. Okay? And where there is a mistake, they're subtracting. Okay? So it's 5 marks, so that's how we'll take. Okay? And then also describing the picture. Are they able to describe? That's now language development. Okay? Because we're trying to incorporate the art in education, the education in art. So can they tell you what this is? So what have you colored in? What is it? It's an ornament. Okay? Where do you eat onions? Where do we find them? How do you grow them? So something about the picture. So they need to talk about the picture. That's part of art. That's now an integration of art in education and education in art. Because when you talk about art, it's also critiquing art. They should be able to critique the art. They should be able to critique the art. Yes. Yeah. They should be able to critique the art. They should be able to critique the art. Okay? So when you critique the art, that means they are describing what they have colored in, what they have drawn, and why they have drawn it and colored it that way. Okay? So you are getting an emotional response from the coloring. Okay? And then you can also talk about, okay, which ones are the primary colors? We've gone back to art. Okay? Red, yellow, and green. So is there, point to the color red? Yes. What color is red? It's a primary color. Point to the color yellow. You are now ensuring that, yes, they've used it, but are they able to point and identify that this is the color yellow? Are you understanding? And are they able to identify that it is a primary color? So we also, the essential knowledge that they're supposed to grasp that is related to art itself. So knowing the colors itself, the shades of the colors, and then also the lines. You can even move it to lines also. Okay. So what lines do we have? Which lines do we have here? Okay. Or what shapes? So it could be shapes or lines. Can you point to any shape there? Oval. But it's not oval, children. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. Okay? That's an oval shape. Okay? Is there a rectangle or is there a straight line? Okay? Is there a circle? Okay? What type of line is it? Is it a straight line or curved line? Okay? And then you can even move it to body parts. Okay? Can you point to the onion's hand? What does the hand do? What is the function of the hand? It carries things. What is in the hand of the onion? Paint or a basket. Okay? What is the onion eating? Okay? How many hands does the onion have? How many eyes does it have? How many heads does it have? Now you've got to body parts. Okay? So what color hands do we normally have? Black. But does everybody have black hands? No. Some people have got white hands, okay? Some people have got brown hands, okay? How many fingers are found on our hand? But it's still from the art. So they've described that. And then they are also what? Evaluating. So did you like your drawing? What is it that you do not like about your drawing? Okay? Oh, I don't like onions. Or I didn't like the drawing. Or it was boring to draw it. I wanted to do something else. Okay? Okay, so they're evaluating, getting their opinion of it. So these are really fantastic ones for your reasons. Okay? So you can carry on and do the activity. What did you bring? Okay? And this can be for puppets, okay? Because puppetry show is also part of art. Do you know that? Yes, we're going to do puppetry there on the course outline, okay? Where you make puppets, okay? So for example, some of it is made out of gloves. So what you do is you then, if you've got paint, okay, or ink, this one you can't use, okay? You can then draw here. Or paint. You can draw a face here. Or eyes here. Okay? So when we'll do it later, don't worry. Okay? So you will then stand behind a cupboard. You can have a little like a cupboard. Okay? And then you're out talking here. Okay? I am going to go to the shops. What would you like? Okay? Can I come too? Okay? So as you are talking, you're moving your hands. Okay? So can I come too? Okay? No. Okay? So what you're doing is you're using your gestures, your hand gestures to actually speak out the words and the action. So no. I am going by myself. Okay? Bye. See you tomorrow. And then you're going because they're saying see you tomorrow. Okay? So, but your face is not showing. Okay? That's puppetry show. Your face is not showing. It's just that you've got the glove and you have drawn faces there maybe. So it could be even first person there. Maybe that's a boy. Draw a face of a boy there. And then maybe that's the girl. So when the girl speaks, then you're moving the finger. When the boy speaks, you're moving the finger there. Okay? And then you can do it with tissue rolls as well. Okay? We can do tissue rolls, use wool as well. Okay? But that section is for craft. We are doing drawing today and things to do with coloring. Okay? Yes. And that's the most important activity that is done in ECDNA. They're either drawing, they're coloring at this particular age. And scribbling, okay? So it starts off with even a scribble, it's drawing, okay? Worlds are drawing also, okay? So we'll also look at different shapes of things. So yes. So I'll give you some time to do that. And then I'll also try and write down examples of things that you can draw in nursery, okay? Activities, if I can get it. Then I think we can pause for now. I'm not sure whether we pause or we let it run throughout. So we'll also look at, while you're doing your art, we'll look at stages of drawing. Okay. We've got scribbles, there's dots, we've got curves, whirls are like this, okay? Dots, scribbles, just anything, okay? And also we have curves, so curves, okay? Curves, anything like that, etc. Okay? Sometimes it starts off with circles. There is part where the learners will draw circles. They're not in any particular order, but these are just the stages of drawing in early childhood. Okay? Not in any particular order, but just generalizing. Okay? So I think if you look at, and then lines, you start doing lines, straight lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines, okay? If I can show this. While you're doing that, I can move it and then I can show them what's on the board, okay? So we're looking at the different stages of drawing, okay? I hope you can all see this. So stages of drawing by children. In early childhood phase. Early childhood phase. Okay? So we've said there's scribbles, where they're just scribbling. You can't really tell what they're writing, so it can be just scribble. Okay, and they love doing this, especially on walls, okay? Dots as well, okay? Just putting dots, okay? Whirls, with this, just like that, okay? Like drawing circles but joined together, okay? And then we've got curves. And we said that they're called concurves as well, circles. Okay? Circles, and then lines. You'll have different lines. Sometimes what starts first is let's do the order. Straight lines, horizontal lines, parallel lines, okay? And then you also have, then they're able to draw squares, shapes, okay? So we have circle, square, and then rectangle is maybe one of the latest shapes that they're able to do, because it has got two equal sides. It's got two equal sides, two different sides. Two sides are equal, the other two sides are different. So it's quite difficult. They tend to learn how to draw rectangles later on. The ones that are easier to start off with for them, it's the circles, the squares. The rectangles, they can do the rectangles, but the only issue is that sometimes they end up not joining them together properly. Okay, so the triangles would tend not to be joined together. But these are the order of the shapes of how they learn to do the shapes. So that's stages of drawing in early childhood, okay? So you should be able to identify when you look at these types of drawings, at what stage, at what age the learner is, or what stage the student is at. That's one. And then when we're talking of elements of art, okay, what thing are you trying to, elements of art? So as we're teaching art, we need to teach colors. They should know all the colors that are there, okay? They should know the primary colors, the complementary colors, so they should know colors, okay? Complementary colors, okay? The shades as well, okay? And then also lines. When you look at lines, we're talking of straight lines, vertical lines, these are straight lines as well, okay? I think we covered this last week, okay? It's just a summary of this week, okay? Parallel, and it's more of a practical lesson because we're trying to include the theory with the practical also. We've got textures, okay? Space, shapes. So colors, lines, textures, space, and shapes, okay? Okay. So, as you're doing it, you're supposed to look at the texture. Can we look at the texture? How do you describe it, how it feels? So, when learners, when they've done their drawing, okay? When they've done their painting, you should ask them to feel. So, how does it feel, okay? This is a bit rough. Can you see? Yes. So this is smooth. Okay. So as they're feeling, okay, as they're feeling the texture, because the texture is the feel of it. Okay. You can then be talking about rough and smooth. Okay. It actually helps with the emotional response also. Okay. So they can describe. Okay, it's feeling slippery. Okay, and then also they have it on their hands. They can feel it also on their hands. Okay. Yes. So that's the texture. Okay? And you can also ask them to, okay, this actually smoothes out the coloring itself, okay? So it makes it lighter, it makes it smoother. But they are feeling it as well and describing it, okay? That's part of it, okay? So when we also talk of the space, is there space there? Can they identify the spaces? Which ones are the spaces? The space in between there. There is no coloring there. When we talk of space, we are talking of empty spaces, empty places, okay? Where there is no coloring, okay? Like in between there, it's space, okay? There is space there because we're not coloring there, okay? I have understood. And within here also, unless you can color as well. And then there's space in between the different, what you call it, pictures, okay? So I would like you to then draw, okay? Try and draw this, or try and look at drawing another picture, okay? Yes.
You should draw it?
Yes. Yes. You've got your art books, you brought your art books. Let's see which art book.
No, my phone.
An art book should be plain, it should be plain. But although now
next class we will have the drawing book.
Okay. Although now trends are that you don't always draw on plain white paper. There's now modern drawing where you draw on lines and you print it out like that. Okay. So you can use this as a coloring. There's options to draw on a lined paper or draw on a box paper. That's current. Material being used, resources being used for drawing. So when we talk of resources, we are talking of the pencils themselves, okay, the objects that you hold. But we also moves on where you are going to draw it, where you are going to paint it. What are you going to use? Okay, lined paper or white paper or squared paper. When it says squared paper, we are talking of boxes. You know, the light book. Okay, so you can draw like that. So that's recent now. Olden days we used to draw on white paper, yes, and some people still do. But now they're also finding that it also works also on lined paper, because then they can also color the lined paper, the lines also. Okay, so let's try on lined paper. So let's draw lined paper. Let's draw on plain paper. Do you have plain paper? White plain paper. Maybe I could look for some in the. Okay, so And then do you have box, squared paper? We'll try the 3 different types of paper, okay? Because with paper, with art, you have to also consider, okay, where your art is being placed, okay? We can draw on glass, which we're going to do today also, okay? Draw on glass, draw on wood. So what you're doing is you're also bringing types of materials that they can use, so that it is interesting and varied, okay? So when you look at materials, we're not only just looking at paper only. Even paper, there's old print. You can bring in newspapers. They can draw on newspapers. You can bring in Christmas cards or Easter cards or hard paper that they can draw on. You can bring in plastic bags, okay? Then they can draw on it also, okay? They can bring in a chair and they bring in whiteboard markers, okay? We're going to try to draw on this object, okay? To draw on wood as well, and to draw on glass, okay? So what we're simply doing is we are looking at drawing, but looking at various materials that you can use to draw, okay? Okay? You can use pens also. You can do pens, pencils. So I was expecting that not only bring in oil pencils, but you're supposed to also bring pencils, pens, because these are things that they can use as well, okay? To draw. So you are trying to bring in different materials, expose your learners to different materials that can be used for art, okay? Yes. So let's do the lined paper, the plain paper drawing, and the square paper. Then we know that it's done on that. And then also you can do transparent. I'm going to show you. Sometimes you can draw on transparent paper. You know, the photocopying, the laminated paper. You can bring that laminated paper and then they can draw on it and color on it as well. Okay? So you can use what we call either paints also, but we are just trying to draw today on different materials. Okay. Even the board, even chalk. You know that you can bring in chalk on boards, chalk boards, they can also draw. On the floor as well. So also different places of drawing. Like for example, okay, you can do a group floor coloring. You know that you're going to sweep it this way. So you can say draw, okay, we're going to draw a sky. Okay, that's our sky as a class. Okay. Now I would like you to color it in. Okay. So what you're simply then doing and getting someone to come and color different parts. Okay. Okay. In other words, what you're trying to teach them is that art is not just done on paper. Are you understanding? It's not only done on white paper. It can be done on squared paper. It can be done on. It can also be done on glass as well, on the floor. Okay. They can bring in bricks. Okay. You can bring in a plain brick if everybody's got a brick or a stone, and then they can just draw something on the stone, okay? So you're trying to ensure that creativity is achieved, okay? You're ensuring that creativity is achieved. And it makes the art lesson interesting because this is not, it's an unusual way of bringing art to reality. Because we've got different types of art. The graffiti is also a part of art where people go around drawing on walls. People have made money out of it. Art is designing and drawing things on walls, on people's walls, public walls. Okay? Yes. Okay? So, you can do that. And then you can then ask, okay, this is wood, okay? The same drawing that you've done, okay? You can actually do it here also, okay? Okay? Although you're going to find that you're going to eventually find maybe they might start drawing on desks. But what you're simply trying to teach is that yes, it can be done here, but you can bring in small planks of wood. Then they can do it on small planks of wood. I understand it. Okay? Let me see. I am copying this. Yes. Okay?
sometimes you might not know how to pick it up and hold it, okay? So this is how we hold it, okay? This is how we color, okay? When you're teaching holding of crayons, of pens and pencils, it's also a step towards teaching writing, holding, because with handwriting, with holding, it actually includes grasping the pencil, writing properly, okay? So you're also teaching elements of what? Of handwriting in art. Hand coordination, hand and eye coordination, okay? I am using my hand, okay? And my eyes to make sure that I am drawing within the picture. Are you understanding? I am focusing my eyes and my hands, okay? Like that, okay? And then you can also do it on and then they can try and see whether, if they did it on the glass, okay? See, this is also another type of material, okay? If they did it on glass, would they be able to then, okay? It might not come out really well, okay? But then we are getting them to understand that certain materials with certain types of resources, okay? Pencils, crayons, some of them might not be, it might be transparent. We're not saying laminating, you remove this here and then you draw, use it. And you see? It's almost like glass, okay? So they will realize that some materials you cannot use them on some materials, okay? Some resources cannot be used on certain materials. Are you understand? So on transparent paper, it's very difficult to use oil pastels, okay? It might be easier to use a marker, can you see? But it's a rate, so they're selecting, because you also need to teach the learners to be able to select which type of resources do they want to use, okay? And for which materials, which resource, okay? So you can give them an option. This and a pencil. So which one would work here? You know that if they use a pencil here, it will not work because it's transparent, it's plastic. But they're identifying that plastic, there are certain materials that will work on plastic. There are certain materials that will work on plastic when you are using it to draw. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So let's experiment. That is what I'm trying to do. To use as many different resources as we can around, okay? To draw.
I hope I brought the lined, the squared paper. If I've not, we will try it next time, it's fine. But let me give you the plain paper. Transparent paper I can give you, but please don't take it home. Okay? So it's like this, you can use this.
And then they can do it will be like designing a wallet, okay? So you can draw maybe this here, okay? Using your markers, okay? Drawing on plastic, okay?
So try also practice on lined paper if you can. If I can't find my squared paper, that's fine. Then just draw squares on your lined paper. It's still the same thing. So I have 3 different types of drawings there. with the different materials. So at least use about 5 different types of materials. And then I'm going to come around and look, okay? Just to see which ones you have used. Materials. I'm not sure whether you can use also this lip eyeliner. Pencils, please make sure that it's an art lesson, it's art module. You should make sure that you have pencils. Pencils, pen, crayons, paints, bottom line. Even in your own art classrooms with learners, you should be sure that you have these, okay? You can use this here. You can use the plastic here. Here, like what we have done, you can do the pattern same. That's art! It's art for children, but it has to be interesting. Or even bring in tissues and then they can draw on tissues, on photos.
Drawing, I'm not good at drawing.
But with drawing, the more you practice, the better you become. That's the only way of doing it. So that's why I really want it to be practical so that you can actually learn the skills. Yes, that's the point. So that at the end of the day, you can teach your learners or the children that you're going to be working with. You don't want to be an art teacher who doesn't know the basics of the art. It doesn't work. Okay. So I'm also going to write on the board the materials that you can use for art, for drawing, that you can draw on. Even glass itself, you can ask them to bring in mirrors and they can draw their faces on mirrors. Yes. You can ask them to do a portrait of themselves on a small mirror that they bought from home. Okay? And on materials as well. But it has to be plain material.
Can I go and get some?
Even on a can, empty can. Ask them to bring in a can and then they can draw an empty can on it.
Can I go and get some markers?
Yes. Yeah, you can. Okay? Material, like you can. So materials, examples of materials. So we're also going to note down examples of materials that you can use. So examples of materials you can use to draw, of materials that you can draw on. We have said you can use glass, draw on glass, color on glass, wood, metal, plastic, paper. And paper, we said it could be white paper, or white paint paper, or it could be squared paper. That's now a current trend. Most people are now drawing on squared paper, lined paper.
That's a new type of drawing, lined paper, okay? Chalk on stones or cement, on sand. You can also draw on sand. Do you know that? Drawing on sand and drawing in water also. Water drawing, coloring. You put colors in water and then bubble painting, okay, like drawing in bubbles, okay? Water bubbles, okay? So we've done the basics. Paper, you can even newspapers and stuff like that. Okay. So glass, wood, metal, plastic, chalk, and even on boards. So they can draw on chalk boards. Chalkboard. Okay, stones, and also whiteboard. And then they can also draw on electric whiteboards. E-boards, electronic boards, okay? That's e-boards, okay? Electronic boards, okay? Okay. Glass, wood, metal, plastic, paper, and then the type of paper, whiteboard, electronic boards, chalk boards. Yes, so these are the ones that you can also then use. Okay. And then you can also try natural resources, so plants, if you take a few flowers, so you can take a few leaves, and I think you can use pens to draw on leaves, to color on leaves as well. So plants, natural materials, okay? Oh, and cloths. Fabric, okay? You can draw on fabric, you can draw on it, okay? Use markers, plain ones, markers, okay? And I think that's about the summary of it, okay? Yes. Wow. And you're still able to color inside. And then you can display them on, then you can actually, this is quite good, well done. Because then you can actually display them, you see? You can actually display them on the walls. Let's draw this. Oh wow, it's really nice. So you could even put it like a fruit bag, where they can put the fruits in there. So you can say, well, let's design a bag where you're going to put your fruits in. Because sometimes when you put your fruits in your bag, if it's an orange or if it's a banana, it gets squashed and then it spoils all your books. So let's design a plastic bag for our fruits and let's color it in. Oh, this is nice. So they can make it decorative. This is very nice. Okay? So we don't have. What I can do is I'll find stuff because I want us also to start displaying the work that we're doing in this classroom. Okay? Yeah. So we pick some. We take the okay. Like one of the ones I don't know. Are you able to then take out one of the coloring that you here? Maybe tear it out and then put it there. So every week we've got some work displayed for us. Because you have to also display the work. You have to display the children's work. When they've done the art, you can display everyone's work, or you can decide to display only about 5. So every week you need to make sure that at the end of the term, every child's work has been displayed. And you can even ask, even at the reception, like if you've had good students that have really done well, you ask at the reception where parents come in, the school reception, you have some of your children's painting, some of the art around the corridors of the school, okay? Corridors of the school, reception area of the school, even the headmaster's office, you can ask. I've had students draw this, or they've done a brilliant art piece of work. Can it be displayed in your class, in your office, or in the hall, okay, where everybody is? So that the displaying children's work makes them proud of it, makes them interested, and makes them want to be motivated to carry on doing the art. Are you understanding? And it makes them, it's an accomplishment, self-achievement, that they've managed to achieve something, and managed to finish it. And sometimes don't just put good piece of work, okay? Also put work that is badly done, that is averagely done, and that is brilliantly done. So to encourage everyone, because art is art, whether you're finished or not, this is art, okay? Although there's loads of spaces there, but that's art. So even in unfinished product, it's still art, okay? Yes. So try at the end of it to make sure that everyone's piece of work has been displayed. So you can do 5 every week, okay? And the art needs to be different every week. Or if the art is taking too long, maybe you might need 3 weeks, okay? Maybe if it's to do with needlework, you need to practice, you need to demonstrate it, and then you need to apply it. So it might take 2-3 weeks doing it, maximum every month. But don't take too long on one type of art, because then you're limiting those children. You're not exposing those children to different elements of art, to different types of art, okay? They need to know all the different types of art. And then I think also try on glass also, okay? Yes. So that at least they have an idea of how it feels, and to actually then, because one of the other main important thing that is needed is for children to, at the end of the day, decide which materials they want to use on which paper, okay? They need that informed decision of deciding, I'm going to draw my elephant, I'm going to draw the house where I live at home, on glass, on wood, on paper, on lined paper, on transparent paper. They choose, because that's the option. Art is creative. It's about choosing what type of material resource you want to use. Is it clear? Yes. So we can carry on, and then see how it goes. And then maybe pause for those at home, online, distance, so that they can also be doing their own art. And then later on, I'm sure that we will then summarize it and then show off our work that has been done. But please also draw lined paper. Please draw square paper. I think you can draw the squares on your lined paper, okay? And then we'll showcase there. But I'm not sure whether it will start running again if we switch it off. I need to ask the technical team that if we did a pause on it, can we resume it afterwards? You know, or to reset itself, it will start again. So, yeah. And then, okay, lined paper. Can you draw something on a lined paper? Yes. So, what I would expect you to do when you're drawing, please bring plain white piece of paper. The following week, if you're still going to do drawing with children, please bring lined paper so that they draw lined paper. If it's on a newspaper, please bring newspapers, they draw on the newspaper. Instead of there's also recycling. There is now the trend, the emphasis of recycling, using recycled materials in art. So any old piece of paper, any used plastic, any used newspapers can work as art, okay? Yes. Straws, you can use straws as well, I forgot. Straws, that will fall under, I think, plants and stuff, okay? Yes. Sand, drawing on sand, water, even water itself. You bring a bucket of water, you ask them to draw. If they've got coloring, like water, what do they call it? Food coloring, they can actually put the food coloring in there, or even with ink blowing as they're drawing into the water. Okay? Yes. You can carry on or be quiet and then you do the work. Maybe I can move it closer so that the ones at home can see. Is it possible? Is it built in?
No.
So where can we put it? Yes.
There.
You want me to put it here?
Mm.
Are they still seeing? Yes.
Turn it.
Which way? This way?
No, this
This way.
Yes.
Is it okay? Yes. And then just move a bit so they can see your drawing as well.
Hmm?
So you can just move a bit so that they can see your drawing as well. And also ask children to name their drawing, to give their drawing a title, to write their names on the drawing and the dates that they drew it. Okay? Yes. And you should also have a file, there should be an art file for the students as well, to keep all the artwork. So the artwork has to have the student's name, the date, and what it is that they drew. And sometimes just ask them how they felt about it, they can write about it, enjoyed it, or didn't like it, or what happened with that drawing. He's writing attendance, fill in the attendance. And then what you can do is while the learners are drawing and coloring, you can be playing background music at the background. So do we have anyone who's got any songs on your phone that are interesting that you can play now? So sometimes what you can do is you can do an activity while they're quiet, but you can do the next activity or drawing, coloring, or any art or craft can be done with background music. So they can choose their own songs if they've got their own phones, or you select the songs from your phone while they're drawing with this background music playing. Even nursery, right? Even nursery songs or even celebrity songs is still fine. Yes.
Maybe.
More music on trendybeats.com.
That is good. Wow. That is good.
So you can even do thing where you can have drawing plants, flowers, trees, nature, even the sky, the mountains. Yes. So you can have nature drawing, okay? Then animal drawing, insects, wild animals, pets, farm animals. Then fruits, vegetables, people, places, transport, they can draw boats, they can draw cars, they can draw trucks. So try to bring many types of drawing that they can do. Houses, shelter, things found in their homes, they can draw. Things found in the bedroom, things they used to cook. So those online distance, please try and buy an art book and start practicing drawing, and try and use it as a portfolio that you are going to use with your children. I know most of you are working, so as you practice, you can use those samples within your art lessons with your children. And try and get materials that are different, so oil pencils, crayons, pencils, pens, inks, and yes, wow, well done. That is really nice. Yes. And also try and get them to draw on different materials. Like we said, she's drawn on plastic. Yes. The only thing that's left is glass itself as well. Okay? Glass, metal, cans, empty cans. So the cans that come, caned cans, you remove the labels, they can draw on those cans. Okay? Yes. Hard boxes, yes, you can do that. On the floor, cement and stones, you can use that also. Plants, you can get big leaves and they can draw on those leaves, or they can color on those leaves using whiteboard markers. Just exposing them to different materials. Yes. That's brilliant work that has been done. Yes. So you can start off with 3 colors like she's done. Okay, there is red. Another one, maybe do the three primary colors and then the complementary colors, the oranges and all that. Yes. So try with blue as well, blue and yellow. So know the primary colors are yellow, blue, red, yellow and blue. Okay, so they start off with using those 3 colors first until they understand that yellow is a primary color, red and blue.
then any other combination. Then you move on to contemporary colors. That means they're now mixing these colors, but they should start off with the knowledge of knowing the basic primary colors first. So we've done drawing. I think next week we're still on Unit 1, Appreciating Art. So we are on our Unit 1, Appreciation of Art and Craft. Okay? And then we'll look at more of Malawian art and craft tradition. So Malawian draft. Wow, that's nice. So we're going to look at Malawian art next week. Okay? So what do typical Malawians draw? Huts, yes, clay pots, huts, tourism. So maybe can you bring in local artist drawings? Okay? Yes, about 3. So women carrying clay pots, carrying water, village settings, village drawings. They may be centered on tourism. Okay? So what you can do is you can go, if you've got time, maybe go into town and look at the artist stands, exhibitions there, and just look at some of the things that they use, that they draw, and also like postcards. They do postcards. They also make things out of the wire. We forgot also to include wire as well. You can draw on wire itself. Okay. So what you can do is next week we'll look at practical Malawian art. So what things do artists who are in Malawi, our African artists people, and we're going to draw things that are used in the past. Okay? Yes. And you can bring in the tie and dye, or anything from home. If you're going home, look at some cultural paintings, cultural drawings that are there. And then you bring them, and then you do that. Okay? Then we also then look at contemporary art and artists, okay? So then we're going to look at what the artists draw, okay? So bring modern artists drawing also. Yes. Wow, very nice. Very nice. And then we can also take pictures of children doing the artwork, but you cannot take the faces. You have to take from the head, from the neck going below. But you can take also the piece of art, and then you can put it on the wall. So sometimes, instead of actually putting the actual drawing, or sometimes they want to take these drawings home, they want to take the art pieces at home, they don't want you to keep it. So what you can simply do is take photos of it, and then do the reprints, and put them the photos around the classroom also. Yes. Wow. Yeah, the heart sitting on a piece of grass, yes. And also, there are different types of flowers, okay? So we also need to, so what you now need to do is you need to develop your skill more, okay? We've got flowers that are also different, okay? That are not only circle, okay? Spiky ones, okay? Even the ones with the long leaves. So just what you can do is with the flowers and plants, try and find 5 different ways that you can draw the flowers, okay? Different types of flowers, because we don't have flowers that are only with petals, okay? We've got different types. So with every type of drawing, make sure that you have what? You've got different types of drawing. If it's animals, wild animals, make sure you know how to draw wild animals, okay? 5 at least. Can you see that's really nice? And then what you need to do is you just need to make sure that they tidy up. So you leave at least 15 minutes before the lesson ends for them to tidy up. Sometimes it takes longer, so 15 to 20 minutes before. Okay? So you ask them to tidy up. They should tidy up, clean up. If you have used paints, they need to mop the place. If they've used crayons, they need to learn to put them back. Okay? And tidy up. And you should allocate a place where they will have finished art. Okay, so either you have got a folder where they're putting all the art, they're going to put them in the art. If it's paints and they need to dry, you can have an art corner, a drying corner where they'll go and put paintings on the floor for them to draw. So you have an art corner where they will put all the art while waiting for it to dry. Okay? Or they put it in their folders, or if they've got a book, they're doing all the art in the art book. Okay, so there should be either an art book or an art file, okay, that they put the art in. And you as a teacher should have your own art sample of the work. This is the work that you're supposed to do, you should have it. 2 or 3 templates of it, okay? So I think let's tidy up, and then I think that it's okay. And then I think next week we'll look at Malawian art. What do Malawians draw? What sort of drawing is Malawian art? So bring samples of it, okay? And then also I want us to be able to look at, bring materials that we have not used. You didn't bring pencils. Did anyone draw with a pen? You did. Yes. Markers, you did. Okay? So but pencils you didn't do. Paints, please bring paints also. Okay? Oil pencils you've done. Ink, yes, we've done. Okay? So we'll look at any other materials that we've not used. We've not drawn on metal, so we can also bring in metal. Okay? That we can draw on. Okay? Wood, we did try wood. Did you try wood? Did you try drawing on wood? No. Yeah, so we'll do wood next week. Metal, that's what we've not done. Plastic, we've done. Chalkboard, we didn't do the chalkboard. Did you do chalkboard? We didn't do the chalkboard. No. Yeah, we didn't do chalkboard. So those are the sand, we didn't do drawing on sand. So we'll bring sand also. And try also on water. Okay? So then the drawing will be finished next week. And then also bring in contemporary drawing. Okay? We'll look at contemporary drawing, contemporary artists, and Malawian traditional artists, and give you notes on that. And then it will be practical also. So I think if there are no questions, let's tidy up, and then that's the end of the end of the lecture. And also you need to also have where you're going to put a cupboard, a closed cupboard where you're going to put these materials. If they're paints, they need to put in a lockable cupboard, okay, at the level of the children. But it needs to be lockable so that they don't take them while you're not looking also, okay? So they tidy up, you put your materials in a lockable place, okay? For next time use. And try to use recycled products because at least they've been used before, okay? Yes. And then the other thing I wanted also to do, bring fruits that have juices in them so we can use them to draw. Yeah. Okay? So like beetroots, anything that has got juice, like even leaves, if you squash them, then we can bring in a paintbrush and then we can use that. Okay? Yeah. So plants, we didn't do plants. Drawing using plants, then we are done. Okay? Then I think after that, we'll start looking at painting. But we'll also discuss contemporary drawing. What are people drawing these days? Modern drawing. And I think that's the end of the lecture. Unless if you've got any questions? No. Okay. So we've looked at the stages of drawing that are found in early childhood. We said they would sometimes use whorls, curls, circles, dots, and shapes. And then we've also looked at the elements of art that we're supposed to use colors. So contemporary now, they're using bright colors, okay? The bright colors and unusual colors like a green sky, okay? So there is a use of green as a color and the use of blue now. A lot in most coloring that is contemporary, that is modern, okay? So there is a lot of use of bright colors because people, they are trying to attract people to buy also, okay? Textures, there's a wide variety of textures. Like what I'd also like you to do is bring in maybe different textures that you can include, things that you can do. So on your drawing, you can bring sticks and you can stick them for texture, okay? Or grass, dried grass, and then you stick it. Like here, you could have put maybe a stick here, okay? So that they feel the stick afterwards. Because even after the drawing, they should feel the drawing. All those things should be practiced, okay? Have you understood? So we also bring sticks, grass, sand that we can stick even here, okay? So that we start also focusing on textures, okay? Even metal, small metal, even foil paper, you can bring in foil paper. We forgot to also mention foil paper, drawing on foil paper, okay? Yes. So I think that's the end of the lecture. I've given you homework for next week is to bring in materials that we have not used. Okay, the chalk, the metal, the plant, and also water and sand drawing. And contemporary art, bring photos of contemporary art on your phone so we can see you drawing, model drawing, what are they drawing, okay? And then also then, I think that will be that. So we'll do another week of drawing, we'll move on to painting also. And then next week also look at the theory of drawing, okay? And we have notes on it, okay? Because we need to balance the two. If there are no questions, that's the end of the lecture.